Coming up on Mountain News this morning, higher ground communities are coming along with workers in Knott County finishing the roof on their first home. And a recent event at a local college was able to point people in the right direction for disaster recovery resources.
Dedicated to Eastern and Southern Kentucky, this is WYMT Mountain News this morning.
Good morning and a happy Thursday to you, Mountain family. I'm Amelia Lee, here with you on this April 10th. The time, 6 o'clock, and it's time to check in with our friend, meteorologist Megan Dusmall this morning for a look at that forecast. Megan, I haven't seen a lot of fog, and I remember when I moved here, when I was visiting Eastern Kentucky, the amount of fog I would see was crazy.
Well, we don't have fog now, but with the rain coming through right now, we could see that humidity increase. So some fog chances could be underway for the areas where we do see that rain this morning, but we'll see how that changes as we're going throughout the day. Now, right now, temperatures, though, are warm. That is one thing that you will be surprised about as you head out the door, mainly sitting in the 50s right now, looking at 60 degrees as you travel towards Monticello. Let's talk about the high temperatures, though, because we'll see about the same temperatures as yesterday. A little bit cooler, though, as you travel more towards the northeast, and a little bit warmer as you travel more towards the southwest, looking at upper 60s as you travel to Wayne County, Kentucky. Here's a look at that satellite and radar. Seeing a little bit of rain moving through. Heaviest rain right now in Rowan County towards Moorhead, and we'll continue to see that move towards the east over the next couple of hours. And speaking of the next couple hours, here's what you can expect for the day. Again, seeing that rain chance this morning, and then as we head into the evening, we have some more rain chances in the forecast and storm chances. Amelia.
Thanks, Megan. Many people say higher ground homes are important for Eastern Kentucky's future, keeping families away from floodplains. And it's been a long time coming for some flood survivors. Now, progress is being made in a Knott County community. WYMT's McKinley Calandrino has an update.
The first higher ground home in Knott County finally has a roof, as crews are making progress daily on the Chestnut Ridge community. It has been a long time coming for flood survivors, but officials say the end result is worth it.
I'm maybe biased, but I think that it's going to be the nicest high ground community in the state of Kentucky, and it's right here in Knott County.
Members with Samaritan's Purse are actively working on 18 homes. One recipient tells me she is a July 2022 flood survivor who has been waiting for this moment.
Something we've prayed for a long time, and it's just through faith and people at Samaritan Purse and them doing God's work, and it's just been a blessing.
Larissa, her husband, and 3 daughters were approved for a home with help from county officials.
There's a few of these folks that we was able to recommend. They had come to us and said, hey, we've got 4 or 5 spots left, what have you, and you know your community, you know the people. Can you give us some names of some folks that might qualify? The
progress is giving people hope as they look toward a brighter, safer future.
It took a while to get here, and we don't know all the reasons why. We know the Lord's in control, but we're here now.
Their mission, sharing the gospel, 1 Bible verse and 1 home at a time.
It's just keep the faith. If you're praying about something, keep the faith. God will work it out.
Each day closer to a forever home. In Knott County, McKinley Calandrino, WYMT Mountain News.
Officials with Samaritan's Purse say they're hoping to have all 18 homes finished by the end of the year. All of their homes have been claimed, but Judge Executive Jeff Dobson encourages flood survivors to apply through HDA for additional homes being built. Hazard Community and Technical College hosted a disaster recovery resource fair yesterday for survivors of the February flood and recent severe storms. Those at the event say it was to help connect folks with resources and different organizations who could help as they work to recover. Loans, grants, and even free recovery guidance were discussed, as well as help for small businesses.
It's just wonderful to be able to see people to come in and get the help that they need and to walk out maybe with a few more resources than what they had coming in.
Lots of assistance is available online, but some people find it hard to navigate all those websites and find out exactly what's best for them. So if you can go in person to one spot and talk to all the different organizations and learn exactly what's available and what might be the best avenue for you to pursue.
Goodwill, the Red Cross, FEMA, the Small Business Administration, and even more organizations were at the fair. Now, as we mentioned, there will be another disaster recovery fair today from noon until 6 at the Pike County Library. There are new days and hours of operation for the Disaster Recovery Center in Pike County. The center is at the Belfry and Pike County Public Library in Pikeville. Will be open from 9 until 7, Monday through Saturday. The centers are closed on Sundays. President Donald Trump approved a major disaster declaration for Virginia. This is for winter storms and flooding in February. This does include all 4 Virginia counties in our area: Buchanan, Dickinson, Lee, and Wise. Public assistance federal funding is available to the state and eligible local governments. As recovery efforts began in Frankfort, some folks forced from their homes by the flood are now returning for the first time. Our sister station WKYT spoke with Jenna Fint and Nicholas Abner, a couple who left their home on the Kentucky River while waters were rapidly rising. They were rescued crawling out of their house and leaving by boat. The couple is now taking in the damage for the first time. Jenna, 5 months pregnant with the couple's child. The home where they were preparing a nursery for the baby's arrival is full of mud and muck.
I have really struggled with right now not having somewhere to bring my child home to. That's the main thing that's staying on my head right now. I can't get it out.
Fint and Abner tell us they're still assessing the situation and waiting to see if FEMA can help them find a more permanent place to land. The Franklin County Courthouse is closed this week, and that's thanks to the historic flooding. Cases are being rescheduled and leaders are figuring out what's next while they wait for several feet of water to be removed. Staff members spent hours during the weekend shuffling files and cabinets into an elevator to take upstairs. The $29 million facility was opened in 2013, and it replaced the original building that was 176 years old. After conducting a special briefing yesterday because of the most recent round of severe weather, Governor Andy Beshear will also have a Team Kentucky update today. The governor will discuss several topics, including the state's response to the most recent round of severe weather, as well as economic improvements. In Louisville, the Ohio River crested yesterday morning after reaching historic heights, but the river remained high last night. If you take a look at your screen, you can see aerial footage. There's people using boats to go from place to place, with complete neighborhoods underwater. The river typically sits at around 12 feet near downtown Louisville. It crested higher than 36 feet yesterday, putting this month's flooding in the top 10 worst in the river's history. An Eastern Kentucky business that stepped up countless times to assist in Kentucky flood recovery efforts is doing it again. New Frontier in Moorhead has Kentucky Strong t-shirts and hats available right now on their website. All of the proceeds will go directly to helping people affected by that most recent flooding. In the past, New Frontier helped raise money and collect supplies for devastating flooding in the region. One person is dead after a crash in Madison County. The crash happened around 10:30 yesterday morning at the intersection of Richmond Road and the Berea bypass. 27-year-old Victoria McQuarrie of Richmond was killed. Another person involved in the crash was taken to the hospital, and we are not yet told the extent of their injuries. April is Distracted Driving Awareness Month. According to the National Highway Traffic Safety Administration, 3,275 people died from distracted driving in 2023. Kentucky State Police Trooper Matt Gayhart says it's just always dangerous to drive distracted.
Unfortunately, we see a lot of distracted driving in this day and time with cell phones and everything that's going on inside the vehicles. So we're just encouraging people to put the phones down, focus on what they're doing driving, make sure that you're paying attention to your speed, and then also make sure that we're buckled up.
The NHTSA says April is the time to pledge not to drive distracted.
We're looking at rain chances this morning as we're going through the next couple hours. Here's a look at satellite and radar. You can see just where the heaviest of the rain is on the border of our region. And as you're traveling towards Moorhead, we're looking at a little bit of heavier rain this morning as well. That will continue to move out, clearing this afternoon, but more chances of rain and storms are in the forecast this evening going into tomorrow. Let's talk about those temperatures, though, as we are sitting in the 50s, seeing some 40s here and there, 45 for Manchester and Whitesburg, 44 for Clintwood and Grundy, and the warmest temperatures as you're traveling towards Monticello at 60 degrees. High temperatures for the day, well, you're mainly going to see the 60s, seeing some chances for 50s as you're traveling towards Virginia, but all in all, it's not going to be too bad of a day. You're just going to have to deal with those rain chances throughout the next couple hours. Here's a look at Thursday's forecast. We'll hit the high temperature around 5 p.m. And again, we have those rain chances this morning and then another chance this evening going into tonight. Amelia.
Thanks, Megan, and thank you for joining Mountain News this morning. We have more on the way. Easter is almost here, and despite some economic trouble, experts say spending is about to take flight. Well, I know that you and I might be a little bit sad about this one, but Megan has said we might get some rain, hopefully not too much in the days to come, just a little bit for it to be a nice rainfall.
Yeah, we do have rain today. It's already starting today.
Wow. Okay.
And we have storm chances tonight, but that will clear out as you're heading throughout your Friday, and then we have a nice little break for Saturday, Sunday, and most of your Monday.
Good. So a nice weekend, a nice break in that weekend.
A nice break in the rain, but right now that's not what we're looking at. Here's a look at live pinpoint Doppler radar, where you can see the rain moving into the region. Seeing the heaviest rain as you're traveling more towards the north. Rowan County seeing quite a bit of rain right now on that I-64. So if you're driving on that road this morning or right about to, it's getting some heavy rainfall right now. And as we go through the next couple hours, we'll continue to watch that move further to the southeast. By the time we're heading to the 8 o'clock hour, so when most people are on the roads, we're seeing that our western counties will be looking at that heavy rain. Still seeing a clearing for our Virginia counties as well as our east counties in our area, like Pike County, for example, as well as Letcher and Harlan. And then we'll continue to watch that push its way through. By the time we get to about 1 o'clock, we're going to have a little break from the first round of rain, but we're not done with those rain chances just yet. We have more in the forecast as you're traveling into the afternoon and evening hours, seeing some storms maybe popping up in the forecast as well as we're going through the next couple hours, moving its way through, mainly staying south of the Hal Rogers. However, there are chances as you're traveling a little bit more towards the north as well, but for the most part, again, staying to the south, pushing its way through, and then we're going to start to see the winds shift. Looking at northerly winds, which is what our temperature drop tomorrow is inspired by, only seeing the 50s for the high temperatures. Now that will continue to move its way out, and then we're clear by the time we're heading into Friday afternoon. But we do still see some sprinkle chances in the forecast the remainder of your Friday and going into your Saturday morning for our eastern counties. But for the most part, we're going to be staying dry for your Saturday, Sunday, and most of your Monday. Here's what you need to know in terms of those severe risks. Not seeing a tornado threat with this system, but we will see those fast wind speeds as it makes its way through our area. Could maybe see a possibility of some hail, but the main thing I'm focusing on is that heavy rain, but also the wind chances. This is the amount of rain that we're expecting for the system, again, starting up this evening and continuing into your Friday. Mainly less than an inch. The only places that could get around an inch are the areas highlighted in that blue color, mainly as you're traveling towards the more central south portions of our region. And then, as I mentioned, we're going to have that little break for Saturday and Sunday. But as you head to Monday, we do have another chance of some rain very late going into your Tuesday. Could see some storm chances with that as well. High temperatures for the day will be sitting in the 60s. Warmer as you're traveling more towards the west. Cooler as you're traveling more towards the east, seeing upper 50s as you're traveling towards Clintwood. And here's what you can expect for those temperatures for the next 12 hours. We're really going to see those temperatures ramp up by the time we're heading to about that 5 o'clock hour, seeing the warmest temperatures of the day. Here's a look at that Air H 7-day forecast for your weekend is always in view. We'll again see that system move through, dropping our temperatures down to the 50s for Friday and Saturday, but we'll start to warm up for the following days to come, mid-60s on Sunday and upper 70s for your Monday. Amelia.
Today, President Donald Trump is expected to meet with his cabinet at the White House. It comes a day after he pressed pause on his reciprocal tariffs against most countries except China. Wednesday's Wall Street rally rippled across the world. This morning, global markers opened much higher after the tariffs were paused less than 24 hours after they kicked in. President Trump acknowledged investor unease was linked to his decision. The baseline tariff, now 10%.
The bond market right now is beautiful. But yeah, I saw last night where people were getting a little queasy.
The White House says up to 70 countries are pushing for talks. But China is retaliating, upping their tariff on U.S. goods to 84%. President Trump hits back with a 125% tax on Chinese imports. President Donald Trump's tariffs on imports cause an economic shakeup, but it's not stopping shoppers from spending this Easter holiday. In today's Consumer Watch, Jen Sullivan looks at how much your celebration could cost.
Easter spending is expected to soar this year despite a lot of economic uncertainty.
Consumers are expecting to really go out for Easter this year.
The National Retail Federation estimates consumers will shell out more than $23 billion this year, with people spending around $189 per person on average. That's up $12 from last year. Catherine Cullen from the National Retail Federation says even though some items are more expensive due to inflation, it's not holding people back from shopping.
Through all of these tumultuous times, consumers have been very protective of these holidays.
According to the NRF's recent survey, consumers will spend the most on candy and food. Nothing says Easter like an egg-stravaganza.
Easter is our highest consumption period of the entire year.
Emily Metz with the American Egg Board says Americans are expected to eat or decorate 3 billion eggs this spring season. The good news is egg prices have come down in the last few weeks, according to the U.S. Department of Agriculture. Metz says fewer avian flu cases have helped stabilize prices, but they're still much higher than this time last year.
That has made a significant impact. It's allowing our system to recover.
So how can shoppers save this holiday?
Certainly think about which decorations you can reuse from last year, whether or not you can encourage people to participate in a potluck.
Colin also recommends painting wooden eggs instead of real ones. For Consumer Watch, I'm Jen Sullivan.
According to an FDA alert, Agrimark is recalling more than 1,700 pounds of Cabot Creamery extra creamy sea salted butter because it could contain coliform, a type of fecal bacteria. The recalled product comes in packages with 2 4-ounce sticks and was distributed across 7 states. However, the company reported that it had received no complaints or reports of illness and had recovered 99.5% of the affected packages before they were sold. Just ahead on Mountain News this morning, thousands of Americans chipped in to give an idea for the next big bag of Lay's chips.
We're going to see those temperatures warming into the 60s this afternoon. Most places will be seeing the mid 60s and low 60s. However, we do have some upper 60s as we travel more towards the west, and we have some 50 chances as we're traveling more towards Virginia. 55 is the high as you're going towards Wise. Now, for the next couple days, we have a little bit of a temperature change up. We'll be seeing cooler temperatures for Friday and Saturday in the 50s, and then back into the 60s for your Sunday. However, 70s are in the forecast as you head into your Monday before another dip back down into the 60s. As you head off to that bus stop this morning, here's what you need to know. Temperatures will be a little bit chillier. I mean, we're looking in the mid 50s for most areas, and we do have that rain coming through. By the time you're heading home, though, well, those temperatures will warm up into the upper 50s, and that's right before we see that next chance of rain and storm chances this evening going into tonight. Don't forget, tomorrow night's Mega Millions jackpot is $72 million, and Saturday night's Powerball jackpot is $82 million. Amelia.
Thanks, Megan. Dogs at a shelter in New Jersey were treated to a special slumber party to raise funds and help raise awareness of furry friends in need of adoption. The party at St. Humbert's Animal Welfare Center in Madison featured a somewhat chaotic puppy yoga session, a more relaxed movie night, and a pampering session for the dogs before bedtime. In total, they helped raise more than $76,000. Last year, Lay's asked the country, what's your $1 million potato chip flavor idea? After more than 700,000 submissions, the 3 finalists in the latest iteration of the iconic Do Us a Flavor contest have been selected. Now, Lay's Bacon Grilled Cheese, Lay's Valentina and Lime flavored potato chips, and Lay's Wavy Korean style fried chicken flavored potato chips go head to head for a final vote. It's up to the fans to choose which delicious flavor will be crowned the winner. What's your choice for that one, Megan? Which potato chip flavor?
The grilled cheese one, probably.
The grilled cheese one. But what if you could make one? What would you have decided to send to Lay's?
See, that's hard because salt and vinegar already exists, and that is the best change my mind. You can't. That one's one of the best ones. Same with sour cream and cheddar. So I don't know.
That one's good. I think for
don't think there's
me,
anything else.
it would be, so when I was in college, I would get these spicy pickles from 7-Eleven, and then I would get Cheetos. So maybe, you know, we can't mix brands, but I would get spicy pickles and then the jalapeno Cheetos and put like cheddar cheese on top.
I think Lay's owns Cheetos. Maybe they
Probably.
can mix it up, make
That's
a custom bag.
my flavor, and you should think of yours as well. But we'll be right back after this break.